YouTube family, what's the deal, man? It's your boy, and we're back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys two type of setups that I take that I consider A+ setups for supply and demand. And if you guys want to be able to have the highest probability in winning a setup, you need to watch this video, because I'm going to break down step by step on how you could identify if this setup is an A+ setup and how you can execute on these type of trades when it presents itself. Okay, so again, don't skip on this video, because if you really watch and pay attention to what I'm going to tell you guys in the breakdown, you guys will be able to become a profitable trader, to be able to pass prop firms, to be able to actually start making money in today's market. Okay, so again, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below on whatever kind of video you guys want me to do, and I would do my best to drop that video for you guys. Okay, as that is to say, I will see you guys in the breakdown. Okay, all right, let's get into the actual breakdown of how you can find A+ supply and demand setups in your trading session, because this happens over and over again, but you just have to wait for the setup to happen. Okay, again, patience is super important in trading, and if you pay attention to what I'm about to show you in this video, you will be able to take this setup every single time you approach the market. Okay, it happens on crypto, it happens on futures, it happens on forex. Doesn't matter what you trade, it's going to have supply and demand setups all the time. You just have to do your job and be patient and wait for your setup to show its hand. Okay, so again, before I even get into the breakdown, I want to show you guys a Discord. So if you guys haven't know, me and my partner 8 Field Trades, we run Summit Traders. If you guys want to join a community where we're all there to help each other, we have webinars, we have the webinars recorded, so you guys can always go back and watch. We have one-on-one sessions that you guys can schedule with me or my partner, and you guys will be able to go over anything that you have problems or struggling in. We are able to go over that on the call. Okay, also we do trade London and New York session. I trade London, Phil trades New York. If you guys want to come and live trade with me during London session, again, join the community. The link will be down below. These are trades that we're calling out. This was a trade that we took yesterday, and it went for a 1 to 2. Futures, again, I call out gold trades on future and forex, but this was a trade we took, and again, 1 to 2 smacked. Also, this is our signal stats for the year. We are at a 70% win rate. Think about this, okay? Out of 10 trades we take, we are bound to win 7 of those 10 trades. That is a really good thing, because we are scalping on the 5-minute time frame, and we're just trying to get in and out. Okay, we're not trying to hold these trades for a long time. We're just trying to get in, make our money, get out, and be done for the session. Okay, so again, if you guys want to join a community where we are really here to help you guys and be part of giveaways that we do, we give away funded accounts. You know, we do a lot of giveaways to the community because we want to give back to whatever you guys are putting into the community. Okay, so again, you guys want to join, the link will be down below. Now let's get into the actual video and the breakdown of how you could find A+ setups. Okay, so I'm gonna go over these examples with you guys so you guys can see how I understand if this is going to be a winning trade or it's going to be a losing trade. Okay, so first setup we have is this right here. So again, two things that you want to do: turn on your 200 EMA so you can understand what price is doing. Okay, these are all going to be strictly on the 5-minute time frame, because the 5-minute time frame, if you are trending, you don't need to really look at the higher time frame, because you kind of already see what the direction is doing for your session. Okay, so again, the 200 EMA, which is down here, leave this on if you have a hard time understanding what the trend is for the day is. Okay, again, the EMAs are not perfect, but it's going to give you an idea of if you are going to be buying today or if you should be looking for sells. Okay, so leave the 200 on. Again, we have the 200 on. When price is above the 200 EMA, what that is telling you that we are potentially bullish. Okay, now look at what happened here on this demand setup. A demand setup is when you see aggressive candles breaking structure to either to the upside. That's telling you that, cool, we might have buyers here. Now let's wait for our retracement so we can get back into where these buyers are coming in at. Okay, so if you look at this, you see there's a big push right here, 3 bullish candles. That is telling you that this is an area where buyers are stepping in, and we're also breaking structure. Now again, a lot of people, if you watch a lot of videos, people are going to tell you a break of structure is if it closes body above these highs. For me, okay, what I'm going to start doing is I need to see candles break above the wick of that highest area. So if you kind of look at this wick over here, this is where the highest area is at. Because if you go on the lower time frame, you're gonna see that there's a rejection here as well, right? Sometimes you're gonna see candles close up here. Sometimes it might just be the same wick as it is on the 5-minute. So mark your high, see where you have these buyers coming in at, and see if you're breaking structure. Don't do a break of structure at the bodies, because this wick could also be another rejection. Okay, so do it at the highest wick of that area if you're looking at demand setup, and kind of see, okay, cool, are we closing bodies above that area? As you can see right here at this bullish candle, you are closing above this wick. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that you have a clear break of structure. Now a lot of times if you just wait, if a wick, sometimes a wick going past it and not closing body could still be a break of structure, but to give you the highest probability, you want to wait to see if there's candles closing above this highest area over here, which is this wick. As you can see, that is what's happening, and that is a clear break of structure to the upside. Now once you understand that you're fully breaking structure to the upside, look at your demand area. Okay, now how do you draw a demand zone? You see where there's aggressive move, and you want to draw it from the bearish candle before that big push to the upside. Now you also need a gap. Okay, so this is a gap right here. So I'm going to show you guys. So we draw our zone at the bearish candle before the move. Okay, the whole candle, the bodies and the wicks. You want to start at the top wick, go down to the bottom wick. This is now your 5-minute demand. Okay, now why is this a high probability setup? Because as you can see, this bullish candle left the zone, only came back, then when the next candle printed, it only came back to here. So you have a gap from this area right here to this area. So we could leave this box, let's do it red. Okay, so this is our gap. As you can see right here, as this candle left the zone, the next candle printed, it only wicked down to this zone, to this area here. So now you still have this whole imbalance to fill out before you get the push to the upside, right? So you always have to wait for gaps to be filled. As the gaps are being filled, it's going to tap into your demand zone and give you an entry to take buys. Okay, now you understand there's a gap right here, you understand there's a break of structure, you understand that we are above the 200 EMA. Now this is a clear sign that's telling you, okay, cool, if price do come back to here, I will see if it gives me an entry to then take buys again. Okay, you do not want to start taking buys up here, because what goes up needs to always come back. So you don't want to get in up here because you already missed the move. Okay, you want to wait for that retracement so that other people, other traders are going to get in at the same time as you to then move the market that way, but even higher. Okay, so what do we do here when we see this? We wait for price to come back. So boom, we came back. Now the whole zone is filled. As the whole zone is filled, you can remove this because you understand that the gaps are fully filled. Now this is very important. Okay, now let's play this out. Boom, so that's where I'm entering this trade. Let me turn this off. I am entering this trade as soon as price tap my zone, and the next candle or whichever candle gives me that break to the upside, I am entering that trade. Okay, so as you guys can see, we tapped into the zone. We never close bodies into the zone. That is telling you that this zone is holding very nicely and that you should start looking for that break. Now if this bearish candle was to come down and close in here, that could be kind of tough, because now your zone is not showing you a sign that, cool, it could be respected. It might show you sign that it might be disrespected, because we're having candles close inside the zone. Now again, it's not always a bad idea for candles to close inside the zone, but ideally you want the candles to wick off of your zone and give you that break. Okay, so as this candle came down, we're getting that retracement, we filled in the gaps, and we got our first break. So this is where I'm entering. I'm entering right here. Okay, stops are below the 5-minute zone, one tick below, and then go for your 1-to-1. Okay, now let's play this out just like that. So as you can see, not only did we reject one time, even though you didn't hit your 1-to-1 fully over here yet, but as it came back down, this bearish candle rejected off the zone again. So that's showing you a sign that, okay, cool, we're not getting nothing closing inside this zone. So that's telling you that buyers are still holding this area, and that your trade is still valid because you're still respecting the zone without closing any bodies inside. Okay, so this is the first setup that is an A+ setup that I would take this over and over and over and over again if I see this all the time. Okay, now let's move on to the second setup, this one right here. So again, let's clear this out. So as you see right here, first thing you want to see is we are bullish. Okay, we're breaking structure to the upside, so we're bullish. And also we're above the 200. Look at where the 200 is at. We're above the 200 EMA. Okay, now look at this move over here. From this move right here, we had multiple aggressive bullish candles. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that we have buyers in the market. Now, is this area breaking structure? Yes. So this was the previous high over here, this wick. Okay, so draw your line at this wick up here, because this was the highest area. If we were to clear this whole move out, this was the highest wick that was in the area. These candles closed bullish above that wick. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that not only are we having buying pressure, but we're also closing above, which is telling you that we're breaking structure fully to the upside. So I should only be looking for buys. Now, should you buy up here? No, you want to see if you have a demand zone and if you have a gap. So what do you do on a demand setup? You look for the bearish candle before that big push. So that's the bearish candle right here. You draw from the wick and then from the bottom here. So now this is your 5-minute demand. Okay, now see if there's a gap. The second thing after you find your zone is see if you have a gap. Look at this bullish candle. We left this zone, the next candle printed, but only wick down to here. So now you have a gap from the bottom of that wick to your zone. Okay, which is this area. So now that's your gap. Okay, now everything's telling you that the market is overall bullish, but all you have to do when you're taking supply and demand is just wait for price to come back and give you a reaction at your zone. Okay, so now let's play this out. Okay, cool. So what just happened here? We filled in the gap. Okay, gap is filled, and then let's replay this here. That first candle tap into your zone. Okay, so now we fill in the gap. We have this bullish candle that tap into the zone. Now again, pay attention. You're not closing bodies in the zone, so that's telling you that this zone is going to hold. Okay, now what do you do at this point? You wait for that break of a candle high. So let's play this out. Boom, that was my entry right here, breaking these highs, and then your stops is going to be below the zone. So let's put stops over here below the zone, and then go for your 1-to-1. Okay, so as it breaks, you're entering this trade, and it's also telling you that you do not want to close inside the zone, which give you the highest probability in winning this setup because buyers are holding this level. Okay, so let's play this out, and boom, it's really that simple. You wait for that clear break of structure, you find your zone with the gap, see if you're above or below the 200 EMA, and then you wait for price to come back, fill in your gap, tap your zone, but do not close inside your zone, and then take that break, because that's giving you all the confirmation that this trade is going to go your way, because the zone is not getting disrespected. You're not having bodies close inside, and then once you get that break, set your stops, set your TP, and let it play out. Okay, so that's the second setup. Third setup, this is a supply setup. Okay, so when you look at this supply, let's clear this out. Okay, same thing as demand. So look at where the 200 EMA is at. You're way under the 200 EMA, which is showing you that there's a lot of selling pressure. Okay, now look at this area over here. This is a break of structure. See where you have aggressive bearish candles. This whole move started from here, aggressive bearish candles. Now when you look at the zone for these supply setups, you want to draw your box from that bullish candle before that bearish drop. So this bullish candle is right here before this bearish drop, as well as you're breaking structure. So this was the lowest point over here. Draw your line right here. That's the lowest area that price was down here. Okay, you're breaking structure, but you're also breaking outside with the body closure. That's telling you that you're getting a full break of structure to the downside. Now as soon as you understand that, draw your zone. So you're gonna draw your zone from this bullish candle the whole bullish candle. Okay, so now you have a 5-minute supply with the gap. So you understand you're already breaking structure. Okay, so we could clear that out. Now look at where this gap is at. This gap, as you can see, when this bearish candle left the zone, we left the gap right here, so it never filled this gap in. So your gap is from this zone to that wick. So now that's your gap. So now what do you want to do? You just want to wait for price to come back and give you a reaction for you to take the sells down. Okay, so let's play this out. Okay, we haven't filled it in fully. Okay, boom. So look what just happened over here. So we fully filled in this gap. Okay, that was the gap. So you can clear the gap now. And look at how the candle closed once it tapped into your zone. It's rejecting off the zone without closing body inside. When you see this setup, this is giving you a clear confirmation that this zone is going to hold and you're having sellers come back in. Okay, so all you have to do is literally just wait for that retracement and then take your break of a candle. So now once I got this printed, actually once it tapped the zone, it broke this bullish candle below here. So I'll be taking sells right here once it breaks, which it did on that candle, stops above the zone, and then go for your 1-to-1. Let's play this out. And it's literally that simple. You just have to wait and be patient. Don't get in on an impulse sell right here because you see bearish candle come down. Remember, what comes down needs to come back up. What comes up needs to come back down so that you could get an opportunity to enter this trade again. Okay, so that's a supply setup, and that's how you understand if this is an A+ setup or not. Let's go on to the next example. This is super clean right here. So let's clear this out. So again, you see that we're breaking multiple structure, major structure to the downside. You're under the 200, okay? And then right here, you have multiple consecutive bearish candles. Should you be taking sells on here? No. You need to identify if this is valid or not. So before this move to the downside, we had this lowest area over here, which this wick was right here. And look what happened. We're closing bodies fully below this wick, so that's telling you that we're having a full break of structure to the downside. Now again, before a bearish move, you want to look at the bullish candle to draw out your zone. Okay, so again, where was the bullish candle before this bearish move started? Right here. So you want to draw from up here to out here. Now this is your supply setup or your supply zone. Okay, now why is this a valid supply zone? Because as this bearish candle left this area, it left a gap. You see how the next bearish candle printed only did a small wick? You still have this gap right here to fill in. That's the gap. Okay, so let's mark this red. And then so you have your gap and then you have your zone. So what do you do now? You literally just wait. You know we're already breaking structure. We're under the 200 EMA. We have a gap and we have a 5-minute supply zone. Let's wait for it to come back. Let's stretch this out a bit. Okay. Boom. So this bullish candle tapped into your zone. You already cleared the gap. And look how it closes when it taps into the zone. Okay. It closes with the wick off. It didn't close with the body inside. So when you see these setups, you take the next break once you see a candle close like this, very weak at the zone. So the next candle that prints, boom, I'm in that trade. So break of the candle right there, stops above, and then you're 1-to-1. And let's play this out. And it's really that simple. Okay, so now that you understand what to do at your zone and why you need to always wait for price to come back, this will give you the highest probability in winning your setups. And it's all patience, because I know most of the time when you see this move come down, you just want to start taking a trade down here. But just wait for that retracement and you're going to allow yourself to have the highest probability in winning the setup. Okay, now let's go on to the next example. This actually happened today. Okay, so clear break of structure, and this is going to be a liquidity grab at your zone. Okay, so you see there's a bullish candle that goes to the upside. So what is this telling you already? This is telling you that we're breaking structure to the upside, because if you draw your line from the highest wick, which is over here, you close body up there. So it's super bullish. You're breaking major structure. And then now when this move happened, you also have a gap down here. Okay, so you draw your zone from the bearish candle before that big push, which is down here, and then you have all of this gap to fill. Okay, so what do you do here? You wait. You don't take no buys up here. You wait for a price to come back down and give you that retracement. Okay, so you could clear this out and just wait for price to come all the way back. So boom, now that when price tap your zone, okay, and it breaks out of your zone to the downside, but it leaves a really big wick, or even if there's a small wick over here and it doesn't close outside of your zone, you are okay to take the next break. Okay, so when this candle came down, okay, we're bouncing from the 200, we're above the 200. This bullish candle was once a bearish candle out of your zone, and now it's breaking back in up here. Okay, so what do you do at this point? You literally wait for that break, for this break. So boom, let's wait. Right there, we got the break. So you get in right here. Okay, you set your stops below that wick, and then you go for a 1-to-1. Okay, so let's play this out. Boom, that's literally all it is. So this is a liquidity grab because we broke outside of this zone, but we never closed body. We only wicked off of it. Okay, so that's a valid liquidity grab, and you're able to take that next break. Okay, now one last example I'm going to show you guys before I end this video off, but I hope this is helping you guys out to understand if your setup is an A+ setup or not. Okay, now let's go to this one. This one happened today as well on NQ, on NAS. So what is it showing you? Where's the lowest wick over here? Lowest wick is down here. Break structure with the closure, fully break a structure to the downside, still under the 200 EMA. You have a gap at this bullish candle, so you draw from that bottom of that bullish candle to the highest wick, and then you understand that this whole area needs to be filled, okay, if it really wants to keep coming down. But it's already telling you that we want to come down, so all you do is just wait for price to come back. So let's wait for price to come back. Boom, so look what just happened here. This candle wicked out of here. It never closed body, right? It only wicked out and it rejected. So this is telling you that when you see something like this, okay, we already grabbing liquidity up here. We're still respecting the zone because we never close a body outside like this. Okay, and once you see this, you take that break. So let's play this out. Boom, break right there, entering right here, stops above that wick, and then go for your 1-to-1. And most of the time, when you have a liquidity grab at your zone, you could catch more than a 1-to-1. But for me, I like to be in and out, and I like to be done for the day as quick as possible. Okay, so again, this is all the setups that I have that could help you guys identify what is an A+ setup and how you guys could do this every single day to give you guys the highest probability in winning the setup. Okay, so as to say, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys learned something in this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.